right now, and I'm supposed to go live at 10. My patrons can tell you I've been a little scattered since the move, so I apologize, but I am here. We are ready to play right now. Yeah, I just had to get stuff set up in my new like little area. Can you guys see me? Wait, I can't see your... Okay, there we go. All right, so today we're doing our very first live pick a card reading for the Attached Book Club series. You do not have to have read the Attached Book Club or the Attached book in order to participate, because we did the Ishmael Book Club on my Patreon, and what I seem to realize is that the lives where we were just talking about it didn't really appeal to people. So my goal with this is just to provide some kind of like supplement to reading the book and figuring out about our attachment styles. I feel like it's so basic. Hi. I'm just gonna like give a little announcement while we're waiting for people to join, because I didn't even have the link set up because I'm irresponsible. But I know so many of you guys. Hello, you guys. I'm so happy to see you. I haven't done this in so long, and I always I get really nervous, but I'm always happy to do it. So I'm really just excited. A lot of you guys have been talking about doing more personal development pick a card reads, and it's so funny because my patrons have been on me about that ever since I started Patreon, really, and I don't know why, it just kind of surprised me. I just think that people like to do love, but this is what I love about the attachment thing, is it's like where love and our own like self-reflection kind of coincide. And I feel like love, I feel like you guys might agree with me on this, but I feel like love, partnership, just self and other, those kind of relationships are super overlooked in spirituality as like a really valid and important thing. So I got my little Ganesha here to remove our obstacles, hopefully in regards to this. And hey, what's up, Ashley Touche? Okay, hi you guys, South Africa. I love seeing where you guys are all at right now. Okay, so I just wanted to start this with this quote from Thais Gibson. If you guys don't know her, she's on YouTube. I've shared a couple of her videos over on my Patreon just to kind of spark discussion. And she does a lot of stuff based on attachment, because I feel like a lot of us learned about attachment style in school, but we learned about it as infants. Like if a mother or a father like leaves an infant, do they cry or do they not cry? But just to have somebody outline how it can affect us as adults, like that little seed that has really taken root inside of us and impacts so much of our actions, I'm fascinated. Kat, hey, what's up? Yeah, so just seeing how much our behavior is impacted by those things, I always find very fascinating, because there's some kind of comfort in having like a pattern, finding a pattern or stability. So she said, and this is Thais Gibson, you guys can look her up on YouTube, but she says, sometimes our feelings are more of a reflection of our wound than of a person. And so I just think like that is so true in my life. So anyways, I think there's a lot of people here, so we can go ahead and get started. I think obviously we're gonna do 3 piles. And I got a couple new decks thanks to my patrons. You guys already know that I love you. What's up, Naomi? Okay, so the first deck is gonna be this one. And then the second deck is gonna be this one. And you can pick more than one deck because, you know, I don't know, we all, like, you have a lot of boundaries, you know? And then the third deck is gonna be that one. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of wing this. We'll see what comes out. Yay! Nobody, you guys are being less talkative. It's making me nervous. Why? I'm kidding. Okay, so we're just gonna look at where we can strengthen our boundaries. I made my own peppermint mocha this morning, you guys. That's what I'm drinking, and I gotta say, I did a good job. So my caffeine high is about to kick in. I'm about to be a little motor mouth. Hello! Okay, so for pile number 1, Spirit, where can pile number 1's people? What is the name of the book? It's called Attached, and you don't, like, I just want to repeat, you don't have to have read this book, because, and maybe for those of you who haven't, there's 3 basic attachment styles. Secure is the one we want, but not a lot of people have a secure attachment style. And I just want to say this too, like a lot of therapists say you can't change your attachment style. It's something more to work with, which again brings the self-awareness piece in. We have some like mental health professionals and like therapists and stuff over on my Patreon, and their input on things has been really interesting. But yeah, like a lot of people say you can't change it. Thais Gibson thinks that you can change it through like subconscious reprogramming and things. But I just think I like the self-awareness piece. You want that deck? I love this deck. I just got it. Gemini gonna have a caffeine high. Okay, it's called Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. I'll show this one more time. I'll get the authors up here. So those of you who want to read it. Okay. Hello. And it's written very much like, gives you a lot of examples because these are therapists that have written this book. And so it's a lot of their sessions. Like the people that they work with, they give specific examples. So you can really see somebody's like life. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so pile number one. Where can pile number one came from there? Oh my goodness gracious. The Emperor comes out. Okay. It's kind of a weird setup I got going on here. We're going to start here. So we have the Emperor. I feel like this is just overall like self-empowerment, honestly, for pile number one. Hi, Rachel. Okay, yeah, this is honestly self-empowerment. But for those of you who deal with authority figures, and especially like masculine figures, I just feel like this is your masculine side. So you, like, this is overall boundaries. Just feeling like you have the authority in your life to set those boundaries. And my gosh, this could not be more attachment. Look at this. This is a father and a child. And this came out in another reading very recently. This could have been the soul, like the snapshot of you. There was something like this where there was like a masculine energy. You guys, this could not be more patriarchal lineage if you tried, because it's the father and the children card coming right out. So some of you guys have like a really authoritative father figure, and the root of it here is the sun. I feel like a lot of you guys really liked your fathers. You know, your father could have been a fire sign. And I'm kind of getting, I don't know why, but with this here, I'm getting K2. So like they could have been Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and had some strong K2 in their chart. So this could be a strong, stoic, silent type of a person. And at the very least, you have this kind of an imprinting. And so maybe there's a part of you that clams up when you're dealing with this type of a person, and you find yourself very drawn to this kind of a person because part of you wants to, your dad has his moon in Maga. That is so paternal. That's ridiculous. Like, so yeah, like that's, and Maga, for those of you who have not heard me say this 1,000 times, Maga is like, it is the procession of the fathers. It is what your father said, you know, learn from their father, learn from their father, learn from their father. So this, and this was coming out in that other reading where there really feels like, there is like generational curses that can be broken because some of your like authority figures in your life, it's like they're acting out on this, their own masculine kind of an energy. And you know what else? You know what else I'm getting really strong? They don't value certain things in you. How do I want to say this? Like, they're bigger, right? Because of their status. Like your father, hey Steph, because they're your father. They have the authoritative position, right? And so this becomes the archetype for all of our authoritative positions. But just because someone's in a position of authority doesn't mean they're the strongest person in the room in all ways and in all areas. And as a matter of fact, it takes a really strong person to be able to like recognize that they're not, that they have their own shortcomings, and that they actually need to delegate and find strengths and nurture strengths in other people, which is really what I'm getting from the Six of Cups. This is more of like that mentorship energy. So some of you guys, there's this really like dominating like feel to the masculine energies, or like authoritative. Hey, hi you guys, thank you so much for saying hi to me. I love it. I really love it. But like it feels very authoritarian, dominating, rather than that really supportive masculine energy that sees a spark in you and is never threatened by it. And you know what? It's kind of Freudian. You know, like Freud talks about little boys being afraid to be castrated by their fathers, but it's kind of more metaphorical. You know, like being stamped out by their fathers. So I'm getting that maybe there's a part of you that you know that you have something to teach these people, like these kinds of people. Do you know what I mean? I just feel that it's almost because of their position. It's almost because of the way they handle themselves. And I gotta tell you guys, my dad's kind of like this, where he's like the strong, silent type, but behind the scenes, he is more chaotic. Now, K2 individuals, like, Kat has her moon in Maga. I feel like, you know what, there's something about Maga though, where because they can get such strong intuition, like they have such a strong intuition because they have such a connection to like their paternal line, that we could just sit here and I'll ask Kat questions. You know what I'm saying? And like maybe get some answers. That would actually be very helpful. So I feel like there's also an issue of attention here, like getting somebody's attention, and that's impacting your boundaries. Like you feel like if you don't acquiesce, make this person, a lot of you guys are really adept at stroking the lion's mane, like making a person feel like they are in control, you know what I'm saying? Like stroking their ego, but not in like a gross way. I feel like a lot of you guys, it's like you're doing what you want somebody to do for you. Because you see in this person, these kinds of people, I feel like you guys have an eye for their weaknesses, and you make yourself invaluable to those people. And in so doing, maybe you trample your own boundaries where you don't get the recognition that you deserve. You don't, or just honestly own your own space, you know. And for some of you guys, get positions that you deserve because you're doing it so seamlessly, and so you're good at leading from, you're a good number two. I feel like you came into this life where you understand the mission and the goal, and you make yourself like invaluable to that because you just have an innate sense about it. But you know what? If you understand though that if you keep going like that you're gonna miss out on the things that you are kind of supposed to be in life and in this world. You know, it is. I feel like I can relate to this pile too, where it's like, there is like a power, but it's just not recognized by the world, and it's kind of frustrating because it means that you miss out on like a lot of opportunities. That's very interesting, Kat, that you have a MAGA moon and that you would be daddy's girl, because I wonder if you're very strong in the astral. Anyways, yeah, and so like the root of all of this, we have the Sun card here, is like joy and happiness. You guys build really strong bonds with people. You really do. And I feel like this pile knows how to work with masculine energy to a certain degree. It's almost like that there's that phrase that and it doesn't have to do with gender, but it's like behind every man is a strong woman. Like it has to do with like that archetype where you make other people strong and you know it, but you're not getting the recognition. So I feel like if you just, you know your worth and your value, and you're like, I'm not just doing this for you, you know, I feel like you would kind of move that away. Also, some of you guys, there are children here, and like or it's like a warning that if you had children, there could be like a very strong presence that you would need to like temper, you know, where you would need to be like, I'm raising my kids my way, kind of a thing. Because there's almost, I'm seeing a chain, like there's almost a chain. And so a lot of you guys that especially are masculine, not the masculine energy in your chain, whether or not you are the masculine or you would be with someone who's masculine, it's really, you're able to change it because you're not going to get the same amount of energy out of it. You guys are like really at a crossroads right now, I feel like. What's interesting to me is we have the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck over here. Where like I feel like somebody's almost like you're blending into the background. They feel a strong connection with you, but because you don't demand like the boundaries or something on the physical, then their people are treating you as an option. Martian women are kind of great though because they're outwardly caustic and they're inwardly sweet. Yeah, that's very interesting. So let me just keep going with this. I wanted to start off kind of small. Yay! Doing this. I just feel like this leads to a lot of stagnation in your life because people don't understand. I feel like you guys almost feed ideas and things to stronger types that go enact it. That the Magician. I feel like a lot of you guys, you've had really strong masculine energy around you in your life, and I just feel like maybe it thwarted you, like almost like a dandelion in a garden or something, choking out the other plants. Nobody should be choking you guys out. Okay, let's see. You guys are so trusting. You're showing up as the Fool. This is like almost opposite of energy. You guys are very good at being flexible. And you know what? This is actually the stronger kind of strength. You hear that, you know, like bendy trees, like they blow around in like a really strong wind, and they actually are very resilient. And they, like you guys can really go with the change of the wind. Um, yeah, I'm really getting that. People like this. And there's a, because I always think of Ashwini with the Fool. And Ashwini, they're the divine healers to the gods. They're the sun to the sun. They're the twin sons to the sun god Surya. And then you also have magician energy here. So I feel like instead of nurturing a relationship between like you and someone else, maybe you get put in positions where you have to compete. You know what? This pile, you guys are not, you don't feel, you're cooperative. You guys are the leaders of the future. We have an Aquarius card here. I get this a lot in my readings, that we have a lot of leaders of the future here. So, ooh, you guys, I want to tell you something that's, you're supposed to be careful who you say this to. I'm just telling you because it's considered secret knowledge. But there's something called the hidden name of Ra. And so it is that the sun, whatever sign the sun is in, right? So we're entering the age of Aquarius. Actually, there's a lot of Leonine energy that comes through because the sun always acts on the axis, like it always both sides. It's never just the one sign that it's in, because there's the place where the sun sits, and because the sun is such a powerful luminary, it always lights up right across from it. So I'm getting this strong Aquarius Leo vibe here. You guys are like the secret glue of society. That's what you are. And it is a very strong strength, and society hasn't recognized you. You guys are here to light a way to a new future. You're very skillful. You maneuver things very, very well. Somebody, though, it's almost like you need, there's something here about competing for resources, which is a big problem. It's a big problem in the world, because the wrong people are like getting it. So I'm not telling you guys to change. So let's see where you can strengthen these boundaries. Let me just see what some advice is, because I feel like we're painting a picture here, and somebody said this on the thing where it's like, I kind of feel like clearly this is a superior way to be, but you know what, if spirituality has taught me anything, it's that it's never about extremes. It's always about finding some kind of a balance. So you guys are very giving, but I feel like there's a part of you that needs to put yourself more out there on the front lines. So some of you guys have like a fire north node, and you maybe have some Aquarius. Some of you guys have Aquarius south nodes. We're still in pile number 1. I'm a very long-winded reader. So what's the advice here? How can pile number 1 strengthen this boundary? What's the advice? Okay, definitely you guys care too much about, you need to withhold certain things. You need to understand the value of your own wisdom and knowledge. A lot of you are highly intuitive. You're channeling spirit, and spirit's giving you that information. Some of you guys feel a responsibility to hand over information to other people. You don't have to. Spirit's giving it to you in order to empower you. And so also we have the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I'm telling you, it's like there's a balance between love for the other and love for the self. You guys have a lot of love for other people, and I feel like you define yourselves through your service work, through being of service to humanity in some kind. It's almost to the point where it's become your identity, and the reason you can tell that it's become part of your identity. And I do feel like in so many of our spiritual communities and spiritual texts, we're taught to do that. We're taught to just be completely selfless, but selfless can become almost an identity. God loves you is what I want to say. Like, God loves you, and you give from the cup that runneth over and not anything else. There's a lot of energy that's just been given to you, wants to lubricate your wheels here. Does that make sense? So withhold, and know. Some of you guys, if you know that you have value, you want to immediately give it to people. But it's not working out, and because there's something central about you becoming empowered, because this is what I'm saying, you're competing for resources. Resources mean growth. Resources mean sustainability, thriving, flourishing. With this King of Pentacles, if if you thrive and flourish and allow yourself to flourish, and I feel like you would be hard pressed to find somebody who's in some kind of spiritual community that won't talk to you about Maslow's pyramid, essentially, right? Those deficiency needs, meeting your base needs in order to self-actualize. Actually, when you get your resources in order to make sure that your deficiency needs are met, right? Safety, security, housing, food, shelter, love and belonging, those things, actually it frees up more energy. You guys have only barely begun to scratch the surface to your spiritual and capabilities. This pile is highly intuitive and very skillful here. And the key to your skills being unleashed, and actually it's counterintuitive. Oh, we're hitting the sweet spot, because you know what? I feel like you guys can vibe with me on this, where like, you hit the sweet spot in spirituality when it's a paradox, and that's what we're about to hit right now, because actually you guys are just barely started to scratch the surface to your intuition, you have some kind of skill. And a lot of you guys are supposed to be the new patriarchs and matriarchs to something, because you have such a focus on other people, and that's never ever going to change. But it's like the paradox is the more you take the more you take for yourself here, especially at the beginning, the more energy you're going to have to be able to put it towards good works in the world. But there's a process, it's almost like rocket fuel. There's something where you are really being able to take off with that. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like this pile is a bunch of sweeties, and you guys, taking care of yourself is taking care of other people. So yeah, I feel like you guys are you're being asked to embrace your own emperor energy, and it might feel a little awkward and uncomfortable. So let me just pull, yes. Let me just pull another card here. Wheel of Fortune. This is about to change your fortune. Some of you guys have been feeling like you've been living your life from the perspective of other people and not from your own perspective, and it's really impacted your fortune. But Spirit is trying to build you guys up in a way. And it's almost like, this reminds me of my husband and I, like, just having these kinds of conversations where we realized that we were holding our own selves back in the skills and the areas that we felt like we wanted to be a part of, because we were afraid that it was going to hurt people in some way. But then realizing that the more we strengthen ourselves, you guys, even something like this, where I'm trying to like just share what I know about spirituality, it made me feel egotistical, it made me feel uncomfortable. But just through like doing this and just being yourself, and allowing that, and not getting in your own way and telling yourself that you don't deserve it, or that, who are you, those kinds of talks, like, you guys have a lot of wisdom, and you've been in some kind of solitary you've just been, it's a self-imposed prison is what I'm seeing, pile number one. So the boundaries here, it's just through your own expansion, through Jupiter, through getting strong knowledge, expanding your own self, it's really going to change your own fortune, and it's going to change that of those around you. Okay, so that coffee just really went through me, you guys. I'm gonna pause this. Actually, I don't think I can pause it. I'm gonna be right back, but I have to just end this really fast. I'm so sorry, and I'm so embarrassed, but I will be right back, okay? Hold on. Okay, I'm coming right back.